miserably hot and humid here in Saginaw today, and there is a haze in the air from the smoke from our dear friends up in Canada that they're still sending down to us on the wind, and you can smell it in the air. So be glad when this is over with and we can get back to normal here. But that's not what I'm here to talk to you about today. You know, I'm astounded at what can be found if you just turn your gaze downward. But be safe about it, because you don't want to fall in a hole or get hit by a car. I have found just this year no less than half a dozen stones that are, in my opinion and research, effigy stones. Now, some people might think I'm imagining this, but and maybe on some of them I do see a little more than is there. It's a possibility all the time, but with this one I'm going to share with you today, I don't think that's the case. I recently produced a video on the Thunderbird effigy stones that I found just this summer, and the subject of this video is an amazing effigy stone that I found on July 23rd, and it's not a Thunderbird. It was a hot day, humid too, much like today, and my buddy Gil and I decided to go out to one of the fields for a visit. Probably not the smartest choice, considering the weather and the particles that are in the air right now, but we did it anyways. So we went our separate ways on the field, and I found an odd-looking pink granite stone. It was encrusted with hard dirt, and I could not tell what it was, only that it was odd and had a high ridge running down the center of it. That was the only reason I picked it up, was because of that ridge. And usually when I find something interesting, I will set up the camera, take some shots. I didn't even do that day because it was so miserable out there. But once at home, I washed the rock and found something that I felt was quite amazing. A human face, both in profile and straight on. It is really quite remarkable, as you can see in the photos that I'm sharing with you. So was the creator of this piece trying to depict an actual person or spirit? I mean, me too. Unfortunately, we'll never know for sure. It could be the oldest representation of a human that lived in ancient Saginaw, Michigan. This piece was produced through arc pecking, a method which I have explained in previous videos, but briefly it is taking a somewhat pointed rock like the one I'm showing you right now, and this is hit against a stone, the stone that you're trying to form into another shape by removing materials, by pecking it away. And the back of the effigy is silky smooth, and likely was done using rawhide and sand or some other method of smoothing it, but it is very smooth. But let's talk a little bit about what an effigy is. They actually cover a variety of shapes, human, animal forms, and spiritual entities. They are made of many different materials, including stone, clay shell, bone, wood, and antler. And of those materials, I have found stone and antler here in Saginaw. Other effigies I have found included birds, turtles, dogs, and bears. What were they used for? Well, they were sometimes worn as pendants. They were also used as tobacco pipes, some of them, as well as ceremonial pottery vessels. Primarily, they were ceremonial objects or personal manitus, something that may have been that were oftentimes buried with their owners when their owner passed. I have read reports that when an effigy was broken, that it was actually buried in its own grave, though I don't believe any of the pieces that I have found were related to burials. It is difficult sometimes with any artifact as to why it was left behind to be covered by the sands of time, quite literally. According to some traditions, it is believed that that having an effigy figure with animal or human form allowed the owner to acquire the characteristics of the entity that was being depicted. The use of an effigy figure was an essential part of lives and artistic expression of the Native American people. Unfortunately, many collectors who are out there fail to look for these, as they are not a distinctive form, easily recognizable usually, such as an arrowhead or a spear point would be. Truly, other than the writings of early missionaries who came to these shores, we know little about the actual daily life of the Native American Indian pre-contact period. The artifact stuff behind tell only a partial but incomplete picture, and so you are left to guess at a lot of what things were used for as they're found in the ground when you find things on a field that has been disrupted by farming for decades and by collectors for decades. It's hard to put them into perspective. This piece I found is a small human face effigy. These were often used as protectors or guardians or as a totem symbol. At any rate, these effigies were an important part of its owner's life. There are many of them out there, but too few people who take them from the surface of the ground where they might share space with an arrowhead. Collectors should take the time to learn about these gems because there are a lot of them out there. When I say a lot, there really are too. You can pick up all sorts of effigy figures here in Saginaw. I find them in flint. I found some what are called eccentrics that are flint, or chert, that are flaked, pressure flaked into different forms. And I'll be doing a video on one of those in the near future, an eccentric bear effigy that I think you'll find interesting. It's a very, very interesting piece. So that's what I have to tell you today. I wanted to show you this piece. I think it is quite awesome. Hard to mistake the profile, once it was cleaned, of a human being there, possibly a chief, possibly the owner of this totem, or of this effigy. May have been an important person, or it may just be an abstract of what somebody from the tribe looked like. But nonetheless, quite fascinating. So I hope you found this short video interesting, and I want to thank you for stopping by, and God bless you all on the other side of that monitor. I love you all very much, and look forward to getting together with you again real soon. God willing. Stay well, safe, and happy. In Canada, please take your frickin' smoke back. Alright, see y'all next time.